am a retired Air Force. I served 20 years in protecting my country. I can't believe this shit's going on. Now I want to know out there, how many of you, by raising your hands, are veterans? Okay, one of the things you did, when you entered the military, you took an oath of office. You said, I will protect my country from enemies, foreign and domestic. We have domestic enemies. We have to stand up and be ready. As this lady said, be ready to fight. We try it peacefully, but if it doesn't work, we know what we need to do. We are veterans. We protect this country.
Todd Haddock. I'm a District 4 delegate in Eagle Mountain, and at this point in time, I'm not so much, I mean, I'm a Trump supporter, I voted for Trump, but I'm not so much concerned just whether this is a Trump or a Biden win. It's that even if we have this many allegations of fraud or irregularities, if we live in a free country that's honest and transparent, we should at least be able to talk about it and investigate it, rather than just saying, oh, we don't want to upset the apple cart, let's just keep on going with what we're doing and confirm Biden.
Where are you from?
I'm from Maryland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot freer over here. It's a lot different, it's a lot freer over here.
In what respect?
I mean, it's not just, looking at the beautiful mountains. It's just, the attitude out here. Obviously people are openly caring, which I think is awesome.
Well, being from Baltimore, you probably have a good idea. Does it feel like the country's reaching a stage of being like a powder keg? Like there's going to be more rioting, there's going to be more unrest? Do you think?
I mean, I live in the city, so I was gearing for the worst. I had my survival gear, my body armor, my guns, ammo. I thought things were going to turn for the worst because I expected Trump to win. But it's crazy how, and I remember we were talking about this earlier, how, we're all out here, we have our guns, no one's gotten beat up, no one's gotten shot, nothing's been set on fire. Everyone's going to clean up their trash when they leave. It's going to look completely normal as it did before.
It'll be cleaner after we left than when we got here.
Are you willing to stand for those things that you hold dear?
Yes.
Are you willing to say, give me liberty or give me death? We will not be slaves to lesser men.
Here today.
I'm upset, just like everybody else is, that the nation is being torn apart by traitors in a state government as well as in the federal government. And the fraud that's taken place through the voting process is absolutely how a country disintegrates and collapses.
Do you believe the election was stolen?
I know it was.
How do you know?
I know it through all the education that's available online, on TV, talking with other people. If someone doesn't realize that, then they're uneducated and haven't taken the time to really figure it out.
Well, the thing that I'm addressing as a member of the local media is Deseret News, Salt Lake Tribune, even all of our local media say, I'm not saying it's true, but they say there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud.
Yeah, I wonder who they voted for in the election.
Stop the steal! 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 Stop the steal!
You got dragged here?
No, actually, no. We came ourselves.
You guys look like you're a militia. Is it something like that?
Yeah, we're both. Same with him. He's a marshal, and we're militia too.
Yeah.
Stop the steal!
At what point do you think we'll have to start using militia power to get democracy back?
Stop the steal.
Right away.
Stop
now.
Really?
We might do some today.
What would be your plan today?
Steal. Stop the
Well, they
steal.
claim that there's some people coming.
There's supposedly people coming.
And so
Stop
they
that
will,
steal.
you know, we're not going to have a big deal here. We're
Yeah.
really not going to have a big deal here. But you know what? Anything can turn into a big deal in a second. So you just have to be prepared for anything. You know, they're just, here it's just about the support of Trump and support of truth. This place right here. Like the doors locked up there, they shouldn't be locked. That's not their building, that's our building. And yet they lock their doors. Why is that? Chains. They forgot who they work for.
Yeah.
We're their boss. They're our employee.
Well, they want to label you as rabble rousers. How would you label yourself?
Well, I've run through a legislature and everything. Why would that be any different? I mean, we're not a rebel rouser. We're just on a different end of the spectrum right now. And a lot of these legislatures here carry guns. I know them. I know they carry guns, and they feel the same way as we do.
Yeah.
We're all just people. Just the small people are just tired of being pushed around, you know. Don't you get tired of paying your income tax and everything and not get anything from it?
Yeah. I mean, there's so much waste. Do you think we're going to see some more massive changes in 2021 that are even bigger than 2020?
Absolutely.
Like, what are you guys expecting?
Oh yeah.
Let them tell
A
you.
whole lot of peaceful combatants coming out and showing that we're going to stand this time.
Peaceful combatants?
Peaceful combatants.
How
that's
would
what
you
we are.
describe a peaceful combatant?
It's somebody who stands up for the truth and for the liberties we had in this country before they were taken.
No matter how matter how much they threaten us from the other side, we'll still stand up.
Say something that I always agree with. Anybody that takes a stand, you gotta love them, because they're taking a stand. People that don't take a stand don't deserve what they get. They're gonna get what they're getting. Well, you gotta take a stand. Those guys behind you and all that, they're all taking stands, or they wouldn't be here. Everybody here.
What's your name?
Deloy, Meekum, Marshall Meekum.
Marshall Meekum. Where are you from?
Brigham City.
You guys all from Brigham City?
Morgan County.
Morgan.
Yeah.
Us three.
He's from, well, they're all different places.
Do you think the Republican Party is separate from Trump supporters at this point?
They kind of want to make him an honorary.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. So you've been traditionally a Republican, but now
I've been a Democrat at one time too, and Democrats were good Democrats, but they're not good Democrats anymore. But the Republicans, I just think both parties are bad. We just got to realize one thing: we're all Americans. We got to bring it back together. I think it was designed to make us enemies. It's just my opinion, but
no, I agree. So what, man? It's just amazing how many people came here dressed in military fatigues and with guns. And is that just the show of militia support, or what?
Yes, so that's just to show that we have that right.
That you have that right and
we're
you have the power
for whatever might come up.
Yeah.
Foreign or domestic.
Yep.
That's all you gotta say.
I come hell or high water, you'll stand by your side any day of the week.
Slavery versus liberty. This is our fight, and you guys are all warriors. And I am so proud to be here with you. I just want to quote these words I've made my own, although they were first spoken long ago. Is life so dear? Is peace so sweet to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Hell no!
Just like.
Hello. It's the TV.
Jace? And this is the first time I've ever attempted a rally like this.
In fact, when I got home
around 12 o'clock today, I went in and saw on the news that everyone was storming D.C. We're storming D.C. and making themselves known. And I wanted to come and make myself known. This was my first ever election that I was able to vote in. And it should be a very proud moment for me, but to watch as my vote got stomped down on the ground and forgotten about pisses me off. And I am very proud to be here with all these fellow patriots and all these fellow Americans. And to see that everyone here, despite dangers of being jumped by Antifa out there going to their cars, are here to state what they are here for. I want to just read a quick quote.
Oh, thank you so much.
I want to read a quick quote that applies to our situation here today by one of our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson. What country can preserve its liberties if its rulers are not reminded from time to time that the people poses a spirit of resistance? This is a government by the people, for the people, and you here are the government. So thank you, God bless America, and I'm showing up on January 20th, come thick or thin, Biden or Trump. God bless America!
Them out of a critical race theory class. Do you not want that vaccine? There are other things available. Have you heard of ivermectin? Raise your hand if you've heard of ivermectin. It kills COVID and stops it in its tracks. No more people need to die. Find out about ivermectin and demand that you get it. Then no one will need a vaccine, no one will need to die. Check out Ron Johnson's committee meeting on COVID. There are ways to stop this COVID without destroying our economy, destroying our lives, watching thousands more die. Ivermectin. If you're near one, support a pregnancy resource center. Pray for babies to be saved. Our way to stop this is to go to the highest court, to pray with everything in us to save this nation.
I'm thankful for you guys all coming out today. This has been a really tough day watching the traitors in Washington betray us. And I know I sat there with my daughter today, some of my close friends, and a lot of people in tears, watching this great republic come to its knees. But I want you to know, about 250 years ago, George Washington came across a time when there was no hope, when we were up against the greatest military and the power in the history of the world at that time, with a group of ragtag army, a group of people who had nothing. They didn't even have shoes on their feet. They had no chance to defeat Britain.
Get that mic up.
But by the hand of God, they were able to overcome everything. Those were the times that tried men's souls. And these are the times that try men's souls. And the summer patriot and the sunshine shoulder can run away with his tail between his knees. But by God, this is when we need patriots more than we've ever needed you. Now you look out there at this world that's being hijacked by these globalists and all the mobs that are blind, that are being brainwashed, that have allowed this to happen. I see none of you wearing a mask right now. Why is that? Now let me ask you a question. You look in the mirror.
Be prepared to fight. Private property is at stake. Our futures are at stake. Our jobs are at stake. Our safety is at stake. Most of all, our communities are at stake. What the left and those pretenders who will not act in behalf of President Trump and who will not stand up and defend the Constitution, those pretenders
are putting at risk our communities and our families. Because if Biden takes over, they will be ripped apart, and we will be at war. I am asking you to fight in peace. Fight with love in your hearts. Fight with forgiveness. Fight for Trump. Fight for the Republic and the Constitution. And fight for God. Thank you.
Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump! Fight for Trump!
This is our president right here. What's up, buddy? Now, we made an executive decision that you may or may not like, but this kid has been down hooting and hollering at Henry and Antifa and everybody else. Going off. Yeah. So,
but not cussing.
Not cussing. Oh, no swear words. No swear words. Anyways, we decided to make him an honorary first degree.
That works.
Okay.
Tell us what? At least 18.
At least 18.
Second degree when you're 21 after 21 shots.
We'll get to that. It's okay.
Are you guys are obviously Proud Boys?
Yes. Yep.
What brought you guys here today?
What do you think?
Love of country.
We're actually
everybody seems to be here for a little bit different reason.
Well, the stop the steal starts at like 3, so we're out here for protection for that.
Yeah.
So in case miscreants try to do harm to patriots.
I've seen that the Proud Boys have been labeled by the mainstream media, mischaracterized as homophobic. Xenophobic,
My Sergeant at Arms is gay, so.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
If you want racist, here's my treasurer. This guy over here, so if you want to discount that one.
Super white supremacists.
The most whitest white supremacist
we don't discriminate based on race, religion, sexuality, nothing. All you have to be is an American man, proud of your country.
Why do you think the mainstream media is trying to discredit your organization so much?
Propaganda, because they can't pigeonhole us into a group of racists.
What group on the right do they not do that to?
That too.
It's true. You tell me one group that's labeled a hate group in the SPLC that's on the left.
Do you look at yourself as a counterbalance to Antifa?
We were actually a reaction to that action. That's exactly what happened. Antifa was attacking people going to the deplorable back in 2015, and we came out, and it automatically, arch nemesis, you know what I mean? But they also want to tear the country down and turn it into some communist shithole. That's what we're mainly against.
Do you think there's going to be more craziness, riots, possible civil war this year, or do you think the things are
I don't know about civil war or what that would look like, but I do think there is going to be more craziness.
It also depends on the actions of today, and assuming Biden pulls it out, steals the election, his actions over the next year.
Right now they shut it down. There's been shots fired inside the Capitol, and the protesters are taking over the Senate floor right now.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Yeah.
On my way in, that's what I was hearing. So.
Who's taking over the Senate floor?
All the Trump supporter protesters. Yeah.
They pushed their way into the Capitol.
They took over the House of Representatives and the Senate floor. And
we should. But there's thousands and thousands already there.
We're tired of BLM burning down cities all summer long and standing by and watching people get attacked just for speaking their mind.
You guys
people are fed up. They're sick of it. What we're out here for, though, is to keep the peace. As long as nobody comes out here, tries to attack anybody here for their First Amendment rights. I don't care what anybody wants to say to each other, just don't touch each other. Don't get violent, or else we'll step in.
And that's why everyone out here is standing up. It's not just for ourselves, it's for everyone. It's our neighbors and our families and our friends and our countrymen and the world. If the United States goes down and we lose freedom here, the world will never see freedom on earth again. This is a concerted effort by world global powers that have organized an array against the American people and one president. And he is standing for the world right now, literally. He is the difference between communism and socialism reigning on this planet forever and freedom surviving. And that's what we're here.
Why do you think we can't find a balance, it seems? Why does it seem that if you vote Democrat, you're voting for communism now.
Because it's been corrupted. There's things that are protected under the Constitution that should never be on the table. When we used to gather in our state houses and in our federal election offices in the state capitals, we weren't trying to take people's rights away. Things that were off the table were the freedoms guaranteed under the Constitution, because they come to us by God. And yet these people have organized enough votes, have perverted the minds of citizens against themselves, don't even realize what their rights are. And those rights aren't for sale. They're not, you can't elect them away, you can't legislate them away. They can do it one way, and that would be an amendment to the Constitution. Outside of that, it's just noise and bullying. And we're here to stand. It doesn't matter if I'm 1, we're 100, we're 1,000, or we're 300 million. We all have the same protections, and those protections come from God. So I don't care how many are lying on the other side of the aisle. They can't take that from us. And we will fight. We have the right to fight and to die for that, and I'm willing to do that. And I would venture to say everyone here is willing to do that.
What's your name?
My name's Ken.
Do you want to say your last chance we'll have a civil war in the next year? Yeah. What would lead to that happening, do you think?
Well, if we can't get a fair election, we don't really have a country. So if people don't have control of the country, then who does? Is it going to be the Chinese Communist Party? Is it going to be the left's mob, or who's it going to be? So people need to control the country. That's who it's supposed to be running it, not a bunch of communists.
Yeah, right. That would be that's a good name.
Are you with a particular organization?
But a good name.
Not for this interview, I'm not.
Are we still on the same channel?
Do you think that any of our state leaders are doing the right thing right now?
I haven't heard anything for a while, so no. I wonder if I'm on the right.
Well, they locked up our state house. That doesn't seem very right to me. On the local level, I haven't seen that much problem. The mask mandate is ridiculous. That should never be a mandate to anybody. There hasn't been an increased number in the national deaths, even all causes. If you consider all causes, CDC put out a report that says the national deaths only go up about 30 to 50,000 per year, and there has been no 350,000 spike. So do the research yourself at the CDC website, you'll find out. We're getting some kind of emergency.
This country to come. We cannot let it go. This is our country, and in the words of Donald J. Trump, America will never be a socialist country. I may not be old enough to vote, but I may be able to help uphold people's rights, and I will never, ever stop doing that. You must teach your children their rights and how to uphold the American people's rights. We will never lose the spirit of America, and I stand here strong today, supporting the spirit of America and our president for 4 more years, Donald J. Trump.
We're going to try and get more going all around the state. Screw the people that think nothing about this. We're here and we're going to do something. It is not happening. Teach your children the principles that our founding fathers freaking died for. Laid down their lives for us to have America, for these flags.
Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above to the mountain. My home, sweet home. God bless America. My home, sweet home.
I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees.